was working as a domestic worker. Being a domestic worker, it was good for me at that time. And I loved it and I respected my bosses. But it came to a point that they traveled overseas.
We are women. It means that we are brave, strong, capable, unique. We are woman to woman.
Good afternoon, South Africa, and this is your week appointment with us. Woman to Woman is back so that we can enlighten, encourage, and bless your week further. Good afternoon to you, Toko.
Good afternoon, Mrs. M. Good afternoon, viewers.
We had the 2 past weeks speaking about taking off and empowerment and conquering the impossible. But I know what is in the back of many of our viewers.
Yeah.
This is for the youth.
Yeah.
It cannot happen with me.
Yeah, they always think that topic was about youngsters, was about the youth. So because I'm a middle-aged person, so for me, it's not for me.
But we are going to prove them wrong, isn't that?
Very well.
Today we bring to you self-made.
Yes.
Not only by the youngsters, but someone mature. Before we go on, let us think about what self-made means and, of course, how to get it there. Just watch.
Always be something that you could be worried about. But what I'm challenging you to do is to pursue your goals in spite of what's going on around you.
There should be something you're believing for that you are relentless. You are not moved by how impossible it looks. You're not discouraged by how long it's taking. You don't give up because people told you no. Your attitude is, if I have to believe my whole life, I'm not going to stop believing.
The good news is, even if you are not where you want to be right now, you still have a chance to rewrite your script.
There's a bigger dream waiting for you, just waiting for you to step into it.
Discipline your body, free your mind, get up early and go. Get after it and you'll become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you're thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
Isn't that wonderful? And this is why today we welcome Rose to the show. As I said, it's not only for the young, and she is an example of someone who's self-made.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you, Rose. Welcome to Woman to Woman.
Afternoon, ma'am. I'm welcome to you.
So, Rose, tell us, how did you come to the point of being who you are today?
I came to a point to where I am today, Miss Marcia. Where I started, I was working as a domestic worker. Mm-hmm. Being a domestic worker, it was good for me at that time. And I loved it and I respected my bosses. But it came to a point that they traveled overseas. When they came back, they asked me where I was. That was on a Wednesday when I came to the church for 5 o'clock. But there was no use for them to ask me, where are you coming from? Because each and every corner of the yard, there were cameras. So there was nothing for me to hide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just explained to them, I went to the church.
And you have done your duties in the house.
Yes, I've done my duties because I will never go out without finishing my work duties in the house.
And it was in the evening already,
It was in the evening already, and they knew that. So one question that they asked me, they just said, you choose today between your church, not even your God. No.
Exactly.
They said, you choose between your church and our dogs. That very same moment, Miss Marcia, it came to my mind like a sharp, like someone piercing me, because now I'm being challenged, whereas I'm working hard for this family.
How long have you been working in the same place?
I was working for the same place, it was 2 years.
And they knew you would often come to church.
Yes, yes, and they will always give me a lift sometime.
So all of a sudden there was this change and they made you to choose.
Yes, all of a sudden there was a slightly change. Then, there and there, I stood up, Mr. Ho. I stood up, I went to my room, I changed, I put on my 1 o'clock uniform, not knowing where I was going.
Yeah.
Yes, I have family all over here in South Africa, but I didn't know at that moment where I was going, but something told me, you know what, now it's over, just go. I dressed, I put my uniform, I put my shoes, I went back to them.
So did you have, when you made that decision, did you have an idea of the challenges that you would have? Because if we understood well, you would stay in that place.
I will stay in that place, everything, because I was not paying rent there. They will buy food, they will do everything for us. But due to that sentence of them saying to me, you choose between your church and our dogs. There were two
I
dogs.
think that was the pain, like comparing your faith and the dogs. It's like the dogs are more important than God. For you, I think that was the anger behind
That was
everything.
very offensive.
It was very offensive, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what, Miss Marcia? There were times like we feed the dogs. We wake up in the morning, we feed them in the morning, and in the evening. It was twice a day. And when I will come back to church, from church, I will feed the dogs, put some water there, do everything for the dogs. So at that moment, I went upstairs, I put on my uniform. I came back, I said, I'm leaving.
It was in the evening.
It was in the like in the afternoon. Yeah, like in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. So I just stood up. I went, I packed my things. Miss Marcia, packing my things, where are you going, Miss Rose? Only God knows at that moment. I packed my stuff.
So they made that question, where are you going?
Where are you going?
And you said?
And I said, you asked me to choose between my church and the dogs. So this is what I'm choosing. As you always see me wearing my uniform and you give me a lift, you know that I'm going to church. So this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving today. Miss Togo, they said, you know what? They thought maybe I was going to go to the labor department or do something, but I never did that. I came straight to the church.
Lucky them.
Before even coming to church, my sister said, you know what, my sister, I'm going to remain. I said, no, it's up to you.
Your sister was working there as well?
Yes, I had invited her because it was two ladies who had to work in that place. So because I saw that it was a good environment, so I told her, please come, let's work together. So we were working together, same apartment, but staying different rooms, yes. So she said, my sister, it's better for me to remain because things are not going to be easy. I said, you know what, you remain. You remain, and I have made my decision.
Out of curiosity, did they say the same to your sister?
No?
And she was coming to church as well?
Yes.
So the target was you?
The target was me. The target was me. So I didn't fear anything.
Yeah.
I just stood up, I packed everything, I went out.
And your sister remained?
My sister remained for a few minutes, Miss Masha.
Oh!
For a few minutes, and she thought that maybe I was like joking or something. But now I'm dressed, everything is packed. She said, hey, you know what? I better come with you. I said, it's
So not only one
but we
becoming
lost
homeless, now two.
two becoming homeless. We took everything, Miss Masha. We came straight to the church. And together with our luggage. It was now 5 o'clock service. We went to the service carrying our stuff. Miss Togo, the service finished. Where are you going to go now after this?
Yeah, now reality strike.
Now reality now is...
But did someone from the church tell you ever to do such thing?
No. No. It was during the time of campaign, Miss Masha. Yeah. It was during the time of campaign. What I had done, I had like taken everything and I was left with nothing. Now I'm sent to the streets. I have nothing.
So let us explain.
Yes.
It was the season of the campaign of Israel, and her faith prompts her to sacrifice.
Yeah.
So it would be a moment that she would need the most to have a roof and to have food.
Yes.
And it was a moment that they said, you choose. In a very offensive way, because it was not your church and staying here, it was between the church and the dogs. What kind of comparison? Anyway, not only her, but her sister as well decided to leave that place. Where to?
Miss Masha, after 5 o'clock service, we took our bags. We went to Park Station.
At the station?
At the station, where people normally wait. We thought that we were going to sit there the whole night or sleep on those chairs, comfortable
the ones,
chairs.
the waiting
Yes,
station
the
party,
waiting station
yes.
party. But when it was 8 o'clock, Miss Masha, we were approached by the securities. They just told us, you know what, now it's 8 o'clock. You need to come out, everyone. Where are we going? Now we had to go to where they cook for 24 hours, Miss Masha. There, it was bad.
Yeah.
Because there is street people,
Yes.
those that take drugs,
Nyaupe.
those that take nyaupe,
Yes.
they were there.
And we're talking about Johannesburg CBD. We're not talking about Sandton or any other province that seems to be a bit more kind to people on the streets at night. Johannesburg at night is very rough.
Yes. And there we were. That 24-hour station, we were sitting there. Behind me, there were those guys. Smoking dacha,
Yeah,
smoking
glue.
nyaupe, smoking glue, right behind us, because it's the desks.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
desks, the other desks are facing that side, and the other desks are facing that
Behind.
side. So, us, we're sitting here, and they were sitting behind. That was an everyday experience, Miss
You
Masha.
were already an assistant.
Already an assistant, because I became an assistant in 2013. So that was 2017.
Sure.
2017 already being an assistant in the church.
4 years.
4 years, yes. So every day.
What did you do? Because you could not live your life like this anymore.
No, we couldn't live this life anymore, but we stayed there for like few months
Sure.
in the streets.
Few months.
And nobody
Yes.
knew, even in the church.
Nobody knew in the church, but I think like just few.
When they see you, they just think, you know.
Yes, because I'll come, Miss Togo, I'll come, go to B1, just
Yeah, just
wash my face,
freshen up your face.
freshen up my face there, then go to the service, put on my uniform, go and serve. When it's time for Lord's Supper, we'll come serve as well.
That's a good thing to mention, that many of our members, they look at the assistants and to the pastors and they think they have a perfect life. Lest they know that sometimes assistants and pastors are struggling with their personal challenges, family problems like her, staying on the streets. But that does not impede them to come and pray for you and serve.
Exactly.
That is not a barrier. They don't see themselves as sinning or not able to pray for you. They see themselves going to a challenge that they need to overcome by their faith.
True.
So you were staying there for months and looking for peace jobs.
Yes, I was staying there for months, Miss Marcia. There was a time where we didn't have money. Now that little money that we had, we would go opposite the church here. There was a shop that was selling chips, and that was the cheapest.
Yeah, 5 rands.
5 rands. We'll go there in the morning, buy those chips with my sister for 5 rand, eat, then come to church. There was a day in the morning when we went there, we find out that the price has gone up. Now it's 7 rand.
And you don't have.
And we didn't have that 2 rand.
To top up.
To top up. What are we going to eat during the day? We went the streets of Joburg, all over here, Elof, all the streets, looking down, Miss Marcia, just in search of a 2 rand. Not even a 50 cents at that time that we found. But, you know, faith is craziness, because there were times we would go and view the flats
Without having
nothing,
money, yeah.
But we will go there with my sister, enter in beautiful flats, and we'll find there is a bed on the side there is a bed on the side. And we'll just say, you know what, I will sleep on this side. My sister will say, I will sleep on this side. Look at the bathroom.
Using your faith.
That faith kept us moving. When I think about it, this time, Miss Marcia, sometimes I even laugh and say, you know what, really, if we didn't do that, we were going to be like, maybe in the streets forever.
Yes.
But things did not go as well as you planned, and you had to hit bottom. We will tell you a little bit more about the story. Soon we watch this insert, this promo, that talk about important people that are self-made.
I was born in a family of 14 children. I was the last child to very elderly parents. My bedroom, or my sleeping place, was under the table in the kitchen. I committed myself, and then by the end of the year, I slept and lived in the studio, because I knew I was competing against people that had done technical drawings at school, that had done arts. They came from the School of Arts. I'd done none of that. And by the end of the year, I was one of the best students in my class. First year, I have education. I can do better. I can actually be the architect of my own future.
In my 20s, I think I was learning to be independent. I think in my 50s, I had to fight to be a director. Like, I had to fight to have a second act, to have a new chapter to my career, and it wasn't easy.
There was no future for us in Poland, given this shortage of food, and so, you know, we decided to escape. But anyway, we cleaned up that business, and 3 years later, we grew the assets from, I think it was 8 billion when we started, to 35 billion.
That I saw myself doing it. I was excited because I said, wow, at least they pay. You know, I didn't expect to get anything. Why would I be excited over 150 rand? But that to me was an indication of greater things.
We weren't living in the projects, and if you'd asked me at the time if we were poor, I probably would have said no, because when you are living it and you don't know anything else, you think that's the way life is. The ability to read saved my life. I would have been an entirely different person.
Not only celebrities face dark moments, difficult moments. You had your worst moments as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us, from the moment that you were looking for a job, what did you do next to survive?
At the moment when I was looking for a job, Miss Marcia, I then got another piece job back to as a domestic worker. It didn't work because my only idea was just to go there, get some money,
and start your own
and
business.
start my own business. I worked there for a few months, then I got that money, Miss Marcia. When I got that money, it came to a point I said, you know what? My sister said, there is a shop that someone was using, cooking magunya, making some chips there. But it's those shops that you don't go inside. You just close. Yes, it's just
a little corner.
It's just a little corner. You sell from the outside. You cook from the outside, and you just close when you finished. So what happened, Miss Marcia? We started there because someone offered us that place. So we started there. When we started there, then my sister phones me because that was the time when I was still not resigned at my yes. So she phones me and says, my sister, there is a
small place.
There's a small place, but we don't have money. I said, how much? She told me how much it was. And I could see that we didn't have that money. And I said, you know what, just tell them we need that place. He said, but are they going to agree? I said, just tell them we need that place. And then Miss Marcia, she went there. She told them, we need this place. The idea now, because my sister was now asked by a friend, come sleep here. Now, because I was sleeping as a domestic worker there, now she doesn't have a place, but she was asked, come and sleep here. But now my idea was, come out of that place and go sleep there in that shop. It was so small, Miss Togo. It was so small. Then what she did, she went there, they agreed. We said, we're going to pay the rent month end. Then,
so you started without paying a deposit and paying rent?
Nothing. So she went there and I said, I'm resigning as well. I'm coming there together with you. I resigned.
So the place was already small for one to sleep, now two.
For one person, remember Miss Marcia, we are going to make magunya there. I am an assistant, my uniform is there.
Sure.
Our clothes are there, everything is there. It's just a tiny shop.
Then you have to sleep there as well.
Then we have to sleep there, Miss Togo, we have to bath there.
Wow.
Inside. But you can't believe it, Miss Marcia, because when people would come, they will say, your shop is very clean. And your food, we really love it. So that kept us going, Miss Marcia, until it came to a point. And before I forget this, Miss Marcia, we never had blankets.
Oh, gosh.
We never had blankets. Really, I don't know what had happened, but there was one blanket that we had. When it's time to sleep, there was a lady who was selling in the streets. She will put cardboard boxes. So when she finishes, we'll go there.
You take the cardboard boxes.
We take the cardboard boxes, we put them on the floor, just as a blanket. Then that one blanket, we'll put it over. That kept us going.
And winter in Johannesburg is not mild.
Yes. And it was not easy because we'll wake up in the morning. It was during COVID time.
Sure.
We'll wake up in the morning. Now we were attending in another branch close to us because now yes. So we asked if we can serve there. Wake up in the morning. No one knew that we're sleeping there.
I want to ask you, because people out there, they say, is the church that enforces such kind of situation, they brainwash. When you say no one knew, what would come to your mind? Let me not tell my friends, my pastor. Was it embarrassment or it was, I have to deal with this problem on my own?
You know what, Mrs. Marcia? Because I made that decision when I left the job.
The first
during
one.
the time of campaign, that no one told me to do it. That no one told me how much I'm supposed to offer. So there was no way for me to be like, even ashamed. Because there were pastors there in Marvin. We told them. We told them that, pastors, we're sleeping here. And they were like, it's fine, Mama. It's fine. So that kept us going, Miss Marcia. We will pray there, inside. There was a time when it was 12 o'clock midnight. We were supposed to pray. But before praying, there came people by the door. They tried to break the door while we were there inside. Miss Togo, they were telling us to pray as if we were on top of the mountain.
That pushed you to pray
that
more.
That pushed us at that moment because it was 12 o'clock and they were there 12 o'clock. We prayed, Miss Marcia. We prayed. I think it was from 12 they were there until 2 o'clock in the morning. They wanted to break in and come inside. And those people, they knew us very well and we knew them because we could hear
their voices.
Who were there.
Yes.
There were people who would come to the shop, try like as if they want to buy something. And
they would just searching
and they
there.
would, yes. And they would tell us that, you know what, we don't trust in this God. Yeah, this and that. They would talk so many things. But we would try to tell them.
Spiritual confrontation.
Yes, spiritual confrontation. But there comes that time when they were there in front of our door, but they couldn't do nothing. We went back to sleep. And then there was this time when my daughter, and you can't believe, Miss Togo, my daughter, my firstborn.
Yeah, your firstborn.
She was not staying far from that shop where we were sleeping. But I didn't even want to ask, can we please come and stay there? Yes. Because I know my faith and her faith is totally different. So she will come in the morning, buy some food, and go to work.
So she thought you had a shop and you had a place to stay.
Yes, that's what she thought. And she invited us, Miss Marcia. Mommy, can you please come for dinner? I said, okay, it's fine. We are going to come. We went there. That was the day when they break in, took everything, will make some filling and put like in the fridge and keep it there so that in the morning we'll try do something. But they took all that food.
Oh gosh.
Throw it down. There was my Bible. Remember we staying there, that was our house. Yeah. My Bible was there. They throw it down on the floor. They took that food, throw it inside there. I still have the Bible, Mommy. It's still there in the house. Really? I still have it. Wow. If you can look at
we are showing the photo of this Bible now for you to see what she's talking about.
Because there was all the gravy on
they
top
poured
of the Bible.
It on the
they
Bible.
Poured it on the Bible.
You see the evil side of it, because they did not steal to eat, or they did not steal to resell. They wanted to break in, to take whatever they could and to destroy things. What was the point to throw the gravy on the Bible when to destroy the food they could well it? You see how it was evil, actually.
Yeah, it was evil. It was evil.
Was it your worst moment?
That was my worst moment, because when I came from the house where my daughter stays, and I open the door opens, and when I get in, everything is upside down. But how did these people get in? I looked around. I could see that they stretched the burglar bars.
The burglar, yes.
And it's like they sent someone who was small through the windows
to open from the inside.
To take everything, those pots that we used to cook with, plates, everything.
They took everything they could.
Everything.
Pots and plates.
Everything. Plates, pots, everything that they could take.
And that was
and
your
the
worst
meat
moment.
that was inside the fridge that we were supposed to cook the following day, they took. That was my worst moment.
My goodness.
What came to your mind?
You know what, Miss Masha, what came to my mind? I cried. Honestly speaking, I cried because since I was staying in the streets here in Park Station, there was no tears, nothing. I felt like it's fine when I'm here. But when that moment came, Miss Togo, I cried. I ran to the church. I went in front of the altar. I knelt down. I prayed. I cried. But no words were coming out of my mouth.
Like Hannah.
Like Hannah. Then I came back to... when I came back to the shop, my sister comes. She says, "What's wrong?" I said, "They break in." I said, "Then why are you crying? Let's go to the church." And then I said, "Okay." We went to the church. We went to attend the service. Then now, Miss Masha.
And you had to tell your clients, we don't have food today because
we
were robbed.
Yeah, we were robbed. Now we went to the police. They couldn't do nothing. They were there to write the statements, but they couldn't do nothing. Then my daughter called me and said, "You know what, Mom? Come and stay with me." Yo, Miss Togo. It was a worst moment because now I didn't want.
Yeah, to be housed by your daughter.
To depend on her. Okay, we went there. We stayed with her. And then already before they came in to steal, God had given me an idea of making samosas.
I don't think we need to explain what samosas are because all around the world, they eat samosas.
They eat samosas. But when you talk about these samosas of Mama Rose.
But how would you start without pots, without money, without ingredients?
Now we started because now we're staying with my daughter. She said, "I'm going to lend you some money, some little money for you to buy flour, oil." We had that 2 deep fry. Yes, we had 2 of them. So I think that one they couldn't take it because it was not.
It was not going through.
Yes, that was what we left with. So where my daughter was, there was a garage. So we used to stay there in that room and we would cook there in that garage. Miss Masha, I think really that is from God.
It was a breaking point.
That was a breaking point because God took me from the ground just to put me out there. We started doing this.
We're going to keep you curious to see how the story unfolds and how she can be an example today of a self-made person.
After the break.
So it is true, in most cases we do express ourselves with how we were.
I even got advices that maybe they were not right for me.
We see achievement, but also we see that YPG lead them to have a complete life.
Do you want to watch our previous shows or might have missed one of the Women to Women shows? You can simply find us on UCKG SA, on Facebook, YouTube, and on Freedom On Air Radio, where you can relive every moment at any time.
Are you curious? I am. Though I know somehow the end of the story, but I need to let you know how to overcome. Then you started cooking those samosas from that small place. What happened next?
We started cooking those samosas from that place. And remember, this place now is not mine, it's for my daughter. Now the owner, Ms. Togo, is selling it. He's selling it. Now we need to present papers, bank statement, that you have got money that you can afford.
And you didn't
can
have
afford
money.
to buy the place.
You can afford to rent the place. Now, I didn't have that money.
Sure.
My daughter didn't have.
Do you even that time, did you have even the bank
bank account,
bank card and everything?
Remember, Miss Togo, I had the bank account because I was working and getting paid.
Oh, yeah,
through
from the
bank.
previous job.
And you know what I did?
Yes.
Now, nothing was there.
Wow.
Now the owner is selling. Someone has to buy it. My daughter comes and tells me, Mommy, this place is being sold. So we need to send our bank statement. I said, you know what? I'm going to make my bank statement. She said, no, Mommy, it's crazy. I said, no. I said, I'm going to make a bank statement and I'm going to give it to you and you are going to email them.
Oh.
She just looked at me like, what I'm saying,
are you crazy?
Are you crazy,
Because you didn't have any money. You would produce a statement with no balance.
0, Miss Marcia.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did. I gave to her. I went to the bank. I took my bank statement. I gave it to her. I said, send it, email to them. There you go. She comes, Mommy, now the place says, Miss Rosemary Quizy. I said, look at that.
Yeah.
Now this place, it belongs to me.
I think the beauty in all that is because you didn't even lie.
No.
You just showed them the truth. You see, when God blesses us when we are truthful, because they saw that it's 0, your bank statement, but yet they gave you the place.
They gave me the place, and we stayed there.
So from being homeless, destroyed, robbed, you became the owner of that property.
Yes, ma'am. I became the owner of that property, and now, you know, these places that are called like bachelor flats.
Yes.
That's where we were. Now we started selling our stuff. My sister will go out there and sell. And then that's when we started to have customers, like there are shops there, Miss Togo, that we deliver.
So not only individuals, clients every day, you start now supplying your cooking to shops.
And she supplies it even to big supermarket. I don't know if I can mention, but I've seen your samosas in Mediterranean, the Portuguese place there in Bedford View. I've seen them.
Yes.
I've tasted them.
So now you became a self-made entrepreneur.
Yes, ma'am.
Not knowing how to grow a business, not knowing how to do proper accounting for that.
No.
Today you have your own business with your sister.
Today I have my own business together with my sister. And with that, Miss Marcia, I really thank God, because from that place, a bachelor flat, we faced challenges. They will come, cut some pipes. Then I decided, you know what? We need to move out from here because we are always having problems all the time. And when we try to tell the owner, it's a different story. We will have to take our own money, try to fix here and there. Then we moved, Miss Marcia, as well, without having a deposit, nothing. We got a flat that has got 2 bedrooms, a big sitting room, a bathroom, and a kitchen.
Yeah.
So you also have a place of your own to stay.
Yes. Those flats is 3 flats only.
Yes.
So there is flat number 1, that is where I am. Flat number 2, there was no one there. But the family that came in, if I can tell you the deposit they paid, Until today, I never paid that. I'm just paying my rent.
Wow.
Only.
So now you rent that place.
Now we're renting that place. So it's like I deposited it, it's mine.
Yes.
Because compared with these other 2 apartments, they deposited, it belongs to them. This one, we are staying there. We're paying rent as normal. It belongs to us. Everything.
Yeah.
So you pay installment instead of rent because it belongs to you.
It belongs to me. It belongs to me, Miss.
And today you supply your samosas to more or less how many supermarkets, small shops, companies?
Miss Marcia, as Miss Togo said, we're supplying Mediterranean. That is a big
Portuguese shop.
Shop. We're supplying here.
In town?
In town, opposite the school here.
Yes.
Basa and there's 2 schools. It's Basa and I don't know this other school. Yes. We're supplying for them, for the kids. We're supplying as well opposite here, the cake shop opposite the church.
Yes.
By the corner, cake shop. We're supplying there. Miss Marcia, it's not only these places that we are supplying.
You have clients.
We have clients. As I'm talking to you today, I have a client this coming Sunday morning, Miss Togo, because you see me coming to 7 o'clock service. I wake up 2:30 because I'll be having orders to deliver.
Yes.
This coming Sunday, Miss Marcia, there is this lady that we always cater for her. So she needs, like, I can mention the number of these samosas. She needs like 562.
Oh, that's a lot.
And you do it fresh.
We do them fresh
yeah.
because we don't want to make them the day before. We just want them to test them same day. So that 562, Miss Togo, we have to make them on Sunday. And every Sunday, there is this other guy who has got a bakery that we're making for him every Sunday. So that is 662 that we have to make.
Yes.
As well, as I'm saying, it's like, it's not just the
these
shops
places that you
we
mentioned.
deliver. Also, there are people that
You're
we
catering
cater.
for other
There are
people, for other
families
events,
that yes, that have got
weddings,
events,
or birthdays.
Yes. Someone was just sending me a message, Miss Marcia, yesterday, saying, "Mama Rose, please, we are having this. I need to put you in this. Please, just this coming Saturday, I'm coming to get my order." So we're catering.
Yeah.
And you know what, Miss Marcia? All this, I have said it before, my God, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's totally not for me. Not either my children. It's not for them. They are grown-ups. They have to take care of themselves. They have to look for a job, work. This is for them.
Rose, let me ask you something. When you saw yourself on the streets, homeless, jobless, moneyless, foodless, all less, today, can you safely say that God answered your prayer in that campaign of Israel?
God did answer, Miss Marcia. You know what? Sometimes we think God has to answer there and there. But God has his own time.
He's never late, he's never early.
He's never early.
Yes.
So ways of God are different to our ways. He says his thoughts are not your thoughts.
Yes.
So with me, that campaign, really.
Do you regret leaving that job?
I don't regret, Miss Marcia. I don't regret leaving that job because maybe I could be like still
there.
I think you would be stagnant because sometimes we think this is the only thing that I can have until you lose it. That's when you see that, oh, I can do better things. Maybe you would have not done what you've done now if you had remained there.
So I think, Doc, we proved that to take off is not only for the youngsters.
No, it's not.
That any person
can take off.
can take off irrespective of your education, your background, your age.
Yeah.
But we are going to give you some tips that we observed during her story.
Now here are a few self-made tips to help you become a better version of yourself. Number 1, stay focused on your goals and keep moving forward. Even when things get tough, don't stop. 2, always believe in yourself and your ability to succeed. Never give up on your dreams. 3, stay positive at all times and focus on the progress you have made rather than how far you still have to go. So implement these tips daily in your life and you will see a positive change in your character and in your mindset.
Toko, let us give them one tip that we took from her story that maybe they didn't notice.
Exactly. You know, for me, what I took from her story is that she did not have self-pity. Because people, when they hit rock bottom, they always feel pity of themselves. And when they feel pity, what happens? They remain stagnant. They can't move. But she didn't feel pity. She kept moving. Though adversities were there, challenges were there, they broke in, they did this, but she did not stop. And one thing she mentioned that I like is that everything she was doing, she said, it's not for me, not even for my kids. I wanted to glorify God. That is why God blessed her, because she wanted God to be honored in everything she was doing.
And I'm going to give you a second tip that I took from her testimony. As Toko said, she didn't take no. So every obstacle, she would jump to another one. But something that lacks for many people who want to take off, perseverance.
Yes.
If she would have stayed in her job, it would seem to be safer, security. It's a little bit, but at least it's a little bit every month. Mm-hmm. She tried different things. Imagine to start a shop without nothing. Now you are completely robbed and you have to start doing samosas with the little you have. So she persevered. And many people who start a career, an investment, a project, a business, they do not persevere. They think somehow things will come all right. And when the first obstacles come, they are not prepared to persevere. Victory comes out of failures. She failed, she started again. So if you want to be self-made, don't beat yourself.
No.
Don't take no for an answer, and persevere. So Toko, what it all means for today.
Now it's time for what it all means.
What it all means for today, Miss Marcia, one of the things you mentioned was perseverance. Because people don't know how to persevere. They want quick fix, microwave food, if I can say that. I don't have anything against microwave, but microwave food gets cold very quick. So easy come, easy go. So you see that they persevered together with her sister. Things happened in their lives. They had adversities, they had problems, challenges, but they kept on moving. And you see that when you feel pity for yourself, you will never move. You will be stagnant. There is a gentleman that I know called Sisa Nongomana. He's a Xhosa man from Umtata. He said at home there used to be 15 plus cousins and all that. And their mother used to say something. She would say, in the morning, wake them early up in the morning, 4 o'clock. And she would say, you have eyes, you have feet, you have hands, you are blessed, so go and work. And that is why today that man is one of the biggest entrepreneurship here in South Africa. He is rich. And he said, everything I did, it was self-made. Just like Sis Rose here, because of what? He took what he was taught and put into practice. Sis Rose did the same. There are many people who come to church, Miss Marcia, and they think the pastor has to do everything for me. She could have said, Pastor, I gave money, I gave this, please give me a place to stay. She didn't.
She didn't even tell the pastor what she was going through.
They didn't even tell the pastor because they believed in their faith, they believed in their God, and they trusted that as long as they are going to do everything for the glory of God, God will one day honor them, because they did not want quick food, like microwave food. They just told themselves the right time is the time of God. God is never too late, He's never too early, it's just the right time.
So I'm going to share with you God's point in this.
Now it's time for God's point in this.
Today, I don't bring one Bible verse to share with you, but I bring a story of two men from the Bible. We see the calling of Abraham, and we see Lot going together with Abraham. So two men, self-made men, however, with different results. Why? God called Abraham. Why did Lot decide to go with his uncle? Because maybe his intentions were, this man is old, he doesn't have a child, I'll go with him because I don't have a father, so it means I don't have a piece of the inheritance in my grandfather's riches. And when he dies, he heard the voice of God, I didn't, but I will get all that he has. So they left together with different intentions, with different purposes. We can safely say the two of them became self-made, because we know Abraham became rich beyond measure. God answered his prayer. He is the father of faith, your father of faith, my father of faith, and we account in the world 84% of our population as descendants of Abraham. On the other hand, Lot also became self-made for a short period. He decided that he needed to go where the riches were. He decided that he needed to live like those other men, the rich men, would live. So he had properties, he had money, but at a certain stage, what happened? He lost everything. He lived in a cave, and he ended up being deceived by his own daughters. And he slept with them without knowing and gave birth to two people that opposed the people of God. For a period of time, he was self-made. He was respected. He was rich. He had properties. He had employees. But that did not last long. What is the difference between these two? What is the difference between some self-made and others who are also self-made? The difference is that Abraham was self-made by God. So I wanted to call him God's mate. And Lot was self-made. And because all that he had, all that he did, all that he invested in was for himself, he ended up losing it. Rose was God's mate. As we heard, all that she was concerned with was to glorify God. Till this day, her business, her lifestyle, it's not for herself necessarily. It's not to leave an inheritance to the children, but it is to glorify God. Lot wanted the glory for himself. Abraham just wanted to serve God. So Abraham was more than self-made. He was God's mate. Lot was self-made. And because the glory was for him, he ended up losing everything. Now I wanted to invite you. Apply the tips that we gave, but be sure to be God's mate. Toko, would you pray for them today?
Yes, Miss Masaiwa. Let us pray. My Lord and my Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Lord, in your holy name and in humbleness, here we are. thanking you, my Lord, for this beautiful testimony that we believe it will impact many lives, my Lord. Many people, those who are in the church and those who are not in the church, those who are watching us, my Lord, they will take everything and put it into practice so that your name may be glorified. Lord, open their minds, open their hearts, because sometimes there are people who are intelligent, but their minds are closed. Their minds are not opened. The blessing is just in front of their eyes, just like Hagar, my Lord, when she needed water. She wanted water and she didn't know that the well was just right in front of her eyes. Until her eyes were opened, that's when she saw that the well is there to draw water. So do the same to your people, those who have closed minds. Open their minds, open their spiritual minds, spiritual eyes, for them to see their blessings, my Lord. And do not allow each and every one of them to feel pity on themselves, because feeling pity won't do anything. Staying home and doing nothing won't help them, my Father. Teach them to have courage, because it takes courage for a person to become who you want them to be, my Lord. So I pray for them, my Lord, and I ask you to give them this spirit of courage, because, Lord, you've used many people in the Bible, even prostitutes. You used them, but you never used a coward. So do not allow them to be cowards, my Father. Give them courage, because when they are courageous, my Lord, they will be able to face any situation, my Lord, because they know that you are with them. Lord, I pray for them. I pray for this woman that, my Lord Jesus Christ, had given up on faith, had given up on life, my Lord, because of the problems that they've been through. Give them a second chance, my Lord, and teach them, my Lord, to do your will, because when they do your will, my Lord, you will honor the works of their hands, my Lord. I bless them, my Father, and I ask you, Lord Jesus Christ, to bless everything they do, the work of their hands. Bless, my Lord, their families as well, and give them the same faith, because some of them will be watching together with their families. So open their minds as well. And this is for your honor and for your glory, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much for sharing your beautiful story with us.
Thank you, Mommy.
Encouragement, and we pray and hope that many out there will embrace the same.
They will. They will.
Yes. So we carry on with Woman to Woman every Friday at 3 p.m. And we hope to meet you here next week. Until then, God bless you all. Bye-bye.